Welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca, and usually this channel is about plants, but on Sundays I kind of hijack the channel and turn it into a bit of a lifestyle video. So in this video I'm going to hopefully, fingers crossed, be making mine and Daniel's and Leo's actually I'm not making Leo's, but mine and Daniel's Halloween costumes, and I'm pretty excited. We are going to be dressing up as Leia, Han Solo, and Chewbacca. And we got this inspiration because we saw a Chewbacca costume at the pet store for dogs, and you know, that just really did it for us. So we're like, we have to dress up as Star Wars characters. And if I do say so myself, I pull off the Leia look pretty well, so it just works. So usually I like to make my costumes, and especially this year since I'm not buying brand new clothes, I'm going to be making them / thrifting parts of them. So in this video we're going to be doing some thrifting, we're going to be doing some sewing, and we're going to be putting a costume on my dog, which is freaking cute. So definitely keep watching if you're into that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm at the thrift store now. The first one I'm going to be going to. Hopefully I don't have to go to too many, but I have some ideas for what I'm looking for. Daniel's costume is going to be so easy. The Han Solo costume is basically just like a white Henley shirt and a vest, like a black vest, and then he already has everything from the waist down. Now for my costume, the Leia costume, it's a little bit more intricate in that I probably won't be able to find this in a store like as is, so I'm going to have to do some sewing. What I'm looking for is preferably a white long dress that is not a wedding dress, or what would be okay with me is like a white turtleneck and a separate white skirt. If I don't see anything clothing wise that's already made, I'm going to look for a sheet.
5 minutes later.
That thrift shop was so full. There was so many people in there, it was really stressful. When you are looking for something super specific when you're thrifting, it's just not as fun, you know? Not as fun. Okay, I'm in my regular thrifting store, and I don't usually look at the clothes here, but we will see if there is anything good. Okay, I didn't get that much footage when I was in there because every time I walk into that thrift store, I'm like in the zone. So I want to show you what I got. First of all, okay, hold on. I'm here for clothing items for our Halloween costume, but I had to go to the home section because this thrift store always has the best home section stuff. So let me show you what I got from the home section. So if you saw my last thrift haul, I thrifted another one of these water stands that I'm using as a plant stand, and it is such an awesome plant stand. Also in the home section, this, are you kidding me? It's a tiny little wicker couch. I already have a little throne, but I just found this little couch that is so cute. It was $3.99, and then I was actually successful in finding a clothing piece. So I found this black vest, which will go with Daniel's costume, and I actually think that I'm gonna see what this looks like with one of his white button-ups that he already has, because if we could get away without buying another thing, that would be ideal, because we would just buy another shirt and then he probably would never wear it. I think I'm gonna go to one more thrift store that I know has really good like textiles. Is that the word? Fabric? Yeah, it's Savers. I'm gonna go to Savers because they always have a lot of like white curtains and sheets. Yes, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna check out their white sheets because I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to make my costume from scratch. It's becoming more and more obvious to me that that's going to be the situation, which I really didn't want to do. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really want to sew. I'm not in the mood to sew, but I want a cool costume.
11 minutes later.
I have found a white sheet. It was $2.75, which was a really great deal. $2.75, and it should be pretty simple. So I'm just going to lay it out on the floor here. Basically, when I look at her costume, it looks like it's just a big tunic lump, and then there's a belt to cinch in the waist. So that seems pretty easy. The most difficult part of all of this seems like the bell sleeves, and I've never made bell sleeves before. So this will be an adventure for all of us. And I've got my jealous boy here. Leo, would you like to say hi? garment within the sheet. A lot of the times when you have to draft your own pattern, it is helpful to use a clothing item that you already own. So I'm going to go and peruse my closet to see if I have any tunic-esque or boxy dresses already, because then I would basically just trace it out onto this piece of fabric, except I would probably increase the size quite a bit because the dress that Leia wears is pretty big on her, like it's super loose. Show you the piece that I just cut out. So it looks like this, which doesn't look like much of anything as it is currently, but it's long and there's a lot of fabric down here. And let me just show you on the shoulders here. So I made the shoulders and the neck up really high so that I could add in a, what is it called, a turtleneck. So this is the current situation, and I'm basically just going to cut out one more of this, and then I will sew it together at the side seams and see how it looks. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that little bit of a sewing moment that we had together. I'm going to try it on now. I sewed through that really quickly. That only took me about 10 minutes. Again, I have no idea what to expect. Haha, perfect. Okay, so let's get some, let me back up a little bit so that we can really see this. Okay, so this is basically what it looks like, and I think that it turned out really well. From here, I'm just going to like bunch this so that I can see how much fabric I'm playing with on the top here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the armholes, because if you can see, it's just like a weird little keyhole thing. So I'm going to adjust the armholes like up a little bit more so it cuts more to like right here, and then close it up a little bit higher up, because I am going to be making a bell sleeve, so I need to research how to make a bell sleeve. But honestly, for a first try, this is not so bad. I feel a lot better about this than I was when I first started. Like, not gonna lie, maybe you guys noticed, but I was just slightly discouraged, so things are looking up. And I'm going to just fix those armholes.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Okay, that fits on the shoulders a lot better. That's a lot more of what I was looking for. So now what I'm going to do is grab another pattern, and I'm going to trace out the sleeve section and then like bell out a lot, because the sleeves are very, very big on the costume. Okay, so small update. First of all, my camera is dying on me and I might lose you guys, but I'm also losing daylight, so, you know, maybe that's my, signal that I can stop for the day. But I have this horrible habit of wanting to finish my projects all in one day. It's the worst. Basically, I cut out the shape that you saw, and then I folded it in half, and then I sewed along that straight edge. This is what they look like. They're not as bell sleeved as I wanted. I'll see how this looks. I'm gonna sew these to the costume, and then we will see. Maybe if my battery is still alive, you will get to see that.
The next day.
Good morning, everybody. Well, actually it is afternoon. It's about 1:30 p.m. and I have had quite the morning. I went to the Goodwill bins this morning, which is basically a Goodwill outlet store where all of the Goodwill things go to die, and you just pick through a bunch of bins and they unleash bins one at a time, and it feels like a bunch of rabid dogs eating a piece of meat, going through the bins, throwing things. It was absolutely nuts. Now I am back home. I am ready to complete my Halloween costume. I went out while I was out and I picked up accessories pieces for the belt piece. I actually tried it on again, the costume, and I realized that I could do a better job on the shoulders. I know how to sew. It doesn't need to look bad. You know, I sewed on that sleeve and it just looked really weird. The sleeve started like down here and it just looked super weird. So I decided that I would redo it. So I have completely reworked the shoulders, and you can see now this piece is a lot shorter. And I looked up a tutorial and I made a special pattern piece for this dress so that the sleeves would be more billowy, because also the sleeves that I made yesterday were just a little bit too fitted, and I was looking back at the picture and her sleeves are just so full. And there's a lot of different costume renditions of this costume, and some of them have like a more fitted sleeve, some of them are fitted like all the way through the body. But whenever I make a costume, I want it to be as accurate to the character as possible. So my inspiration photo is definitely the photo of Carrie Fisher. So that is what I'm going off of. I made the 2 new sleeves and they are massive, so these should definitely be a much better size for my arms. And yeah, so I'm going to add on these sleeves and I will catch ya when that is finished. Alright, you guys, I have got the sleeves sewed on and it is looking a little bit better. The seam is right here. You know, a shoulder seam would really come up to probably like right here, but I don't want to fix that because it's really not a big deal. It feels, okay, also it's like very transparent, if you can see my entire outfit underneath here, so I'm gonna have to wear a slip. Yeah, the sleeves are still long. I'm trying to figure out where I want to hem them to. I'm thinking probably about like right here, so that it's just at the tip of my, or like the middle of my hand, like right here. And then the bottom is really long, but it's obviously a maxi dress. So the last thing that I have to do for this costume, well, there's a few things, but I need to add in the little neck piece. There's like, it's a turtleneck. Her dress is a turtleneck. It's like a, actually I think it's called more like a mock neck because it's kind of a short one, but I need to add just like a little piece right here to create that, and then hem the sleeves and then hem the length, which I usually leave that last so that I know, you know, how long I want it to be. And then I will have to start, whoops, there we go. And then I will have to start working on the belt piece. And when I like situate it so that you can see my waist, actually, it's not that bad because right now it looks like I'm just wearing a big blob of sheets, but I was using this like tiny little sash thing. That looks a little bit like Carrie Fisher in Princess Leia. So not so bad. And then imagine the belt piece. So honestly, for it being made out of a sheet and done in like a day, basically, this is not that bad. Okay, so the costume is finished for all of the sewing. Now I just have to make the belt piece, but I want to show you like a full body length. So it's pretty long still, but it'll be just a little bit shorter when I add in the belt. And I hemmed the sleeves, or okay, when I say hem, I could go through the whole process of doing a rolled hem, but this fabric isn't fabric that is going to fray, and also I don't really care about the raw edge. Like, it doesn't look that bad, actually. You know, it could be hemmed, but also it doesn't look that bad, so I'm probably just gonna leave it. So this is it. All right, so next phase of this costume is the belt. And let me show you the photo of my inspiration. Well, okay, the inspiration photo, number one, is obviously Carrie Fisher's actual costume, and I have it just zoomed in on that belt. Basically, it's white with some silver accents, and that is what I purchased from the store. This is someone's costume rendition. It's like very pixelated because it was just a random screenshot, but white belt with that little V and then some silver elements. And so what I got is I got 2 large sheets of craft foam. I got metallic silver paint. This is my first time ever using metallic, like, acrylic paint, and I'm not sure how this is going to work out. And then also, I went to the sewing section and I found these buttons. They are meant to be covered, but oh god, my nails look so bad. Sorry guys. They're meant to be covered buttons, and yeah, so I'm going to use these probably as those like little circle things, and hopefully this is around the same color. If not, I could just paint the buttons. And yeah, so we're going to do a little bit of that and see how this goes. Ooh, hello. It is voiceover Becca. So I basically just traced out what I thought the shape would look like for the belt, and I'm only doing half of the belt because the back half of the belt is going to be made out of an elastic, like just an elastic piece that you would use in clothes, because this obviously is not sturdy or stretchy. So anyway, I just freehanded that real quick, and I folded it in half to trim up the edges to make sure that it was as symmetrical as possible. For the little shapes, I would first draw them on a smaller scale, and then I would take to the bigger piece of foam, and I found to make them as symmetrical as possible, it's best to just fold the foam in half. This is something I picked up in kindergarten, as you did as well, I'm sure. And I just trimmed down this little piece so that it would fit nicely, and then I moved on to the next piece. This next piece that I made, it's like an octagon shape. It was so difficult to get down, so you're just gonna see me struggle a lot in this clip because it was so difficult. I've never drawn this shape before, I've never seen it. So figuring out the size and all of the dimensions was a real pill. And then also trying to figure out how to split it in half and only draw half of the design was kind of weird. So I tried to trace it out as a big piece, and it kind of looked weird when I actually cut it out. Let's see how this turns out. I'm going off my memory here. Yeah, it doesn't look very good. So, okay, now I'm back to the drawing board with cutting it in half, and that was more satisfactory for me. So now I'm just going to be tracing out that piece onto a bunch of other pieces of foam so that I can have multiples of these. I made 4 of these long octagon shapes. I think it's an octagon, I'm not sure. Once that was all finished, I put them on top of the belt, and I just spaced them out and made sure that they looked good. And as I mentioned before, I got these button covers, and I didn't actually have enough buttons for all of the pieces, but the first 3 pieces have the buttons, so that's all that counts. The next thing I did was I painted on the metallic silver paint, and it went on really, really nicely. It was a dream to paint with. Obviously, it's acrylic paint on foam, so if a 5-year-old can do it, I could do it. So I actually did 2 layers, but I only show myself painting 1 layer because we don't need to see me do that all over again. And I hot glued all of the pieces down to the belt. I wasn't sure how the foam would react to the heat, but it was totally fine. It didn't get lumpy or anything like that. I left the centerpiece white because that was how it was on Carrie Fisher's belt. A lot of the renditions that I saw, people colored in the middle piece, but I wanted to be as legit as possible, so I left it white. So now I'm measuring out my waist to see how big or small I needed to make this, and it was so funny jimmying this little belt thing on and off, and I put enough elastic that I thought I would need, and then it turns out it was like way too much. So now I'm going to be reducing the amount of elastic that I added, and I forgot to put the camera down, so I'm sorry, but that is what I'm up to. And now it is very difficult to get it over my shoulders, but I managed it and it fits really nicely. So then I was able to finally glue on those silver pieces. It took a little bit for the glue to dry, and on this last one, the paint was actually not dry all the way, so I had to fix that up real quick. All right, and then I let the belt dry. I put the rest of these little circles on there. The circles are actually hollow, so I have to push up the foam into the circle with the hot glue. So hopefully those don't pop off later. So far it's holding up pretty nicely, but we will have to see. Okay, so I finished the belt and it looks so good. I am really proud of this. Check it out. Wow. Okay, so I don't have enough of these buttons to put on all of the little metal pieces, but I think that it looks okay. You're not really going to see those pieces anyway. So this is the completed costume. What?
Pizza pan.
Okay, so this is the completed costume. I have all the little details finished up. The belt is dry so I can wear it. And yeah, up here. Hi. So I'm not gonna like do my hair and style everything because I'll just save that for actual Halloween, but I just wanted to show you the finally finished product. And oh no, don't do that, just keep it. Yeah. Is it focused on my face at all, or is it just blurry?
It looks focused.
Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to show you what it looked like as a completed product. You guys, I had my doubts. I really did. I had moments where I thought, Daniel, you're fired. I had moments where I thought that this was just gonna be a fail, and I'm coming out of it with a big smile on my face. And what do you think of it, Dan?
That's good. The belt's pretty good.
The belt is super legit. You want to get a close-up? Check it out. It's pretty cool. The only thing that I might want to change on it is I might want to do like put a button or a Velcro thing so that I can take it off easier. But yeah. That's it. Okay, also I said that I was going to show you Daniel's costume and Leo's costume, but I didn't have time to get that finished before I needed this video to go up because I needed it to go up today. You're watching this, but I filmed this. It's 5 p.m. on a Saturday night and you're watching this Sunday morning. So really quick turnaround, but I wanted to get this video up like before it was irrelevant. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed watching some sewing. Let me know if you want to see more sewing videos in the future. It's not really like my forte, but I would love to bring you through sewing clothes if you're interested in that. And yeah, plant schedule. The regularly scheduled plant content will continue on Tuesday, of course. All right, goodbye. I love you guys. See you later. Thanks for filming that clip, Danny.